I go by Kuya Kabablagan in honor of my late mother, who had a deep love for telling stories. This is not just my story, but a story for every Filipino who knows the fear we inherit from the places we grow up in. These are our stories, and I hope they remind you to look around and share your own. This is the tale of what I've come to call the Well of Darkness. If you've heard my previous story, you'll remember our haunted ancestral home in the heart of Manila. This well may be the reason for the haunting that plagued our family. Most old Filipino homes, especially in cramped parts of Manila, were built almost on top of each other. The houses got taller, the spaces tighter, and the light was minimal. Our house was no different. Though I didn't live there, I visited at least twice a week. In the back of the house was a cramped, dirty kitchen where we kept the family dog. It was a narrow space, surrounded by high walls, with no exit. An odd design, but it was typical of homes from that era. I rarely ventured into the back, mostly because I was terrified of the dog. It was meant to be the family guard dog, but something about it always unnerved me. The only times I caught a glimpse of the area was when my uncles went out back for one reason or another. And every time they opened the door, I saw it, the well. A small, old well nestled awkwardly in the corner of the space, always hidden in the shadows. I never understood why it was there. When my siblings and I asked, my mother always gave the same chilling response: "That is the gate to the darkness." As kids, we shrugged it off. How could she possibly know that? Why would they leave it uncovered if it was so dangerous? But her stories stayed with me. She told us that no matter how they tried to close the well, nothing worked. They covered it with concrete slabs, yet the slabs would mysteriously crack and split open. They tried filling it with earth, but the dirt would always be dug out, as if from the inside. It couldn't have been the dog. No creature would dig its way into that cursed hole. The strangest part, hot steam constantly rose from the well's depths. The house wasn't near any hot springs or volcanic fault lines, and yet, there it was. Steam that seemed to breathe from the bowels of the earth. As a child, I used to imagine that if I stared long enough at the well, I'd see a red glow flickering from deep below. And worse things, unspeakable things, would crawl out from the darkness at night. But it wasn't just my imagination. There was always something wrong with the dogs we kept back there. Over the years, we had many guard dogs, too many. And each time, the story was the same. The dogs went mad. At first, they'd seem normal, playful even. Our uncles and aunts would walk them, train them, take care of them as any responsible family would. But then, out of nowhere, the dogs would snap. They'd escape, growling and biting at anyone who crossed their path, family or stranger. It didn't matter. We kids learned quickly. When the dog got loose, we'd race up the stairs to the landing, even though we were all terrified of the second floor. There, in the middle of the landing, stood a glass-encased statue of Jesus, a typical fixture in most Filipino homes. I always believed it was this statue that kept the crazed animals from chasing us further up. Instead, the dogs would bolt outside, attacking random passersby. This happened with every dog. What made it worse was what came after. Exactly 13 days after their escape, always 13 days, we would find the dog dead. Every single one, stiff and half submerged in the well. Their eyes, wide open, always had a single tear rolling down their fur. And when the bodies were examined by a vet, the verdict was always the same: natural causes. But what kind of natural cause happens on the 13th day every time? It was after the third or fourth dog that we stopped trying to keep one. I haven't been back to that house in years, but sometimes I dream of it. I dream of the well still there, still open, still breathing that ominous hot steam. And in my dreams, the red glow I imagined as a child is real, flickering from below like a fire in the depths of the earth. In those dreams, I wonder if we ever managed to close that well, would it finally cleanse the house of all the horrors we've seen? But deep down, I know it won't be that easy, and this is only one story among many. There's so much more, but those those are tales for another time. If you enjoy these tales, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, Keep your third eye open and always respect the unknown.